Okay, so now I'm in the middle of rebuilding these flanges. I'm starting with the trunk channel here that was rusted away. Basically just trying to duplicate this. I cut a piece that this was originally straight down in this little edge over here. So far I've tacked it in up here. I bent it. I clamped it with some needle nose vice grips right about here, or right about here actually. And then I sort of bent it up and just kind of eyeballed it, and it's looking pretty good. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna put my dolly in here, just kind of like that, and use that as an edge to hammer this. Just use that as an edge to hammer this up, and then I'm gonna take this piece of copper and I'm gonna put it in there. I've already sort of widened this so that this way I can weld these two pieces together and not worry about getting a bunch of like weld bead in there to where I can't get the trunk channel in there, because the trunk channel will sit up in there and it gets more or less hammered together. So stay tuned. Okay, so this turned out a lot better than I thought it would. This is pretty much done. I got the shape of the trunk channel. This is opened up a little bit so that the drain corner can fit in there. I've replaced the flange on this side and also on this side. I don't think I'm going to mess with this. There's plenty of metal here. I'll be able to weld the quarter panel extension to that, no problem. I haven't done anything about this yet, just because the way I was looking at this, the way it was fitting when I was holding the actual extension cap up here, the way I have to sort of bend this upward a little bit to bow this out so that the extension cap isn't overhanging this edge too much. Like, there's almost no way to get this to where there'll be an extra flange up here that's going to be even with this. So this is, it almost looks like it's just going to have to be right here. So I'm going to leave this alone for now. I'm going to start fitting the extension brackets and the tail panel and all that, and I'm going to leave that alone and deal with that later if I need to. Maybe just make sort of a little flange and weld it to the extension bracket and then weld it to this or something like that. I really can't see any other way at this point, but it's not that big of a deal. Other than that, I'm prepping these to go ahead and cut them. You may remember from my earlier video that I mentioned that these are designed to fit fastbacks, and they have a narrower trunk drain channel, so I need to widen that. So I got these as a little cheat. So part of this will get cut off, part of that one will get cut off, and then I'm basically just gonna cut enough of it off till I can get enough that this will work. So yeah, shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, time to get the tail panel out and start really putting this thing back together. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. I've decided that I've cut these off on both sides, so now they're free to fit in place the way they should. I've decided that I'm gonna work on getting these in the quarters and the trunk lid and the end caps and the tail panel. I'm going to work on getting all that fitted first. Then I'm going to worry about these trunk channel corners. Because as long as I get everything else working together, the end caps, these pieces, the tail panel, the trunk, as long as that's working together the way it should, it's no big deal for me to wait on those trunk corners, because it'll be easier then, because everything will be welded up and solid and everything, and then I can just fit that corner in there however I need to. So, but this is what I was looking for. So this is better for me than replacing the entire quarter, because replacement quarter will essentially come with this piece like this without the trunk corner. So that's how replacement coupe convertible quarter panels come. But this is much cheaper, a little bit of modification required, but not too much, and it should look pretty good in the end. All right. Okay, I think I've gone about as far as I can with my own skills. I need to consult the gurus. So I've more or less fitted this, got it pulled up tight to the flanges. I've test fitted the end cap, and it fits pretty well on here, although this area right here interferes with it. So because of this, it doesn't want to sit flush. But even if it did sit flush against this, it would be, the gap on this would be set inward too much. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do. I know the Joe Daddy's Garage channel, he had a similar problem where he needed, in order to make this even, he ended up making a slice along here, bringing it back a little bit, and then just welding it back up. So I may have to do that. We'll see. On this side, it looks all right up here and everything. The end cap fits on just about perfectly on this side. The issue that I'm running into is this area. I've mentioned this before, how I felt that this needed to go down a little bit, but honestly, this really doesn't want to move without messing things up. If I pull this down, then this goes in, and then the end cap is hanging off of this by a pretty good margin. And I'm definitely not going to leave it like that and pile on the body filler. So I think what I'm going to end up having to do is maybe slice this down here and sort of make the flange lower. But I know that doing that, eventually I'm gonna end up with fitment issues whenever I go to put a balance on here, because it's probably gonna be too long down here, because this is effectively gonna be shorter than the other side. So I really don't think there's any way around it. The gaps on the trunk are pretty good. I really don't think this is gonna move down any. It's pretty much where it's gonna be. Other than that, everything looks really good. It lines up really nice. Yeah, it's hard to see, but yeah, lines up pretty good. I'm really happy with it so far. The only real issue is just these ends and fitting the end caps properly. I want to make sure that I figure out exactly what I'm going to do before I burn any of this in. But on the face of it, it's practically almost ready to excuse me. It's practically almost ready to burn in as it is. Yeah, it's looking real good. It's actually looking like a car again. So yeah, this is a huge improvement. So once this is all taken care of, it's really going to be, yeah, the project is on. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Got some issues to sort out, but yeah, I was hoping my issues would be minimal since these are original quarters, but they may not be original. You know, maybe they were replaced at some point after it was built. Maybe more accident damage. I don't know. I do remember the end cap that was right here. There was a whole bunch of body filler that was piled on in here. So this gap that I'm talking about, where if it sits flush, it's going to be bad. It's not going to be flush here. They already had that issue, and someone's way of dealing with that was piling a bunch of body filler on there and sculpting it to where it would sit flat that way. So there was a piece of body filler about that thick. It was just kind of smeared on here, and they sculpted it so that when they put the end cap on there, it sat flush with the end of the trunk. So, yeah, and if I measure if I measure from the corner there to the end of this quarter, this side is about like maybe about 1/8 of an inch or more shorter. This one is about 1/8 of an inch or more shorter. So I don't know if that's factory tolerances or what, but I'm gonna have to figure that out, because I'm definitely not gonna pile a whole bunch of body filler on there just to do that. It's too much of a corner cut for me. So on the plus side, rebuilding these flanges went very well. Same story over here. The one on the left probably turned out the best, I think. But this is essentially what I needed to do. Was these were the rustiest parts. Oddly enough, I mean, you would think that, well, water goes down, so you would think that the bottom would be the rustiest part, but nope, it was the top on both sides. So I'm gonna consult some people who know more than I do and get their advice on how to proceed. Hopefully I'll be able to get this done this week. I took the week off to get this done, and I need to get it done. I don't know if I'll be able to get much done in the next couple of days, because tomorrow is supposed to be in the 40s all day, which shouldn't be too bad, but the day after is supposed to be a low in the teens, and we're supposed to get winter weather, which is really just Texan talk for might be snow, might be ice. We don't really know. We'll see. But yeah, supposed to be getting back to normal temperatures on Thursday though. So I have several days to get this done, but I want to get it done sooner rather than later. All right. Thanks for watching.